It's the end of the year, the World MMA Awards just wrapped up, and in this video, we're gonna cover what an absolute joke they are. I don't know what clowns are running the show over at the World MMA Awards, but it would actually be better if they just put my brother, the Filthy Casual, in charge. But yet, with awards like the MMA Personality of 2023 going to Joe Rogan, maybe they did just put a casual in charge, man. And it's not just that one, it's the entire list of winners. It's so disappointing. It's as disappointing as watching Colby Covington fight after a week of trash talking. I mean, honestly, who judged this? Kai Kara France versus Almir Al-Buzzi had better judges, okay? Justice for Kai. Yeah, New Zealand, where are we? Come on, let's get some noise in the comments here. But, okay, so here we go. There's some clowns and they've awarded some garbage and it's just wrong and I'm annoyed about it. So let's get right into it. Now, I know this award ceremony is for some moronic period of time, yeah? Like, it's not actually the calendar year. So when I throw out my suggestions, I'm going to do it the way that it should be done, from the start of the year to the end of the year, you know, the year of 2023. It's a very complicated system that I've come up with. I didn't just pick from June to June. I actually went from the start of the year to the end of the year. I know World MMA Awards, just take a minute to get your head around that concept. Start off with the first one, yeah, the one that I brought up, the Personality of the Year, Joe Rogan. Okay, now except for looking straight down the GoPro and making the face of dropping a hot turd after a 3 a.m. spicy Mexican run, you know, like, what has Joe actually done for MMA in 2023? Honestly, like, now that we're back and international again this year, we've done so much traveling. This might have been Joe Rogan's least impactful year in the world of MMA. Like, what about Sean O'Malley? He's a loud-looking kid, dresses like a clown, Gen Zs love him, he's definitely a loud personality, and he became champ this year. Yeah, or Sean Strickland, right? Like, you cannot go a week in 2023 without having Sean Strickland in the news, us talking about something that he said. I understand, like, Personality of the Year is pretty much just a popularity contest. Anyone could win that. But Joe Rogan, really? You know, and maybe Sean O'Malley is a little bit, you know, not corporate, yeah? And especially Sean Strickland is definitely not corporate. I get it, it's an award show. It has to be this clean corporate thing, so it's, you know, that's pretty much translation for we need this to be boring. How about Tom Aspinall? Doesn't really swear, can carry a press conference on his own with some charm, can make headlines without it being about other men sleeping with his wife, Sean O'Malley, but he might ask to stick a finger in you, so there is that. But it's still pretty harmless fun, you know, as Ian Gary's wife would say, it's just a finger, mate. But either way, there are obviously better names than, oh my goodness, Joe Rogan, yeah? And then you've got the Comeback of the Year. The Comeback of the Year went to Leon Edwards. I honestly, where do you start with this one? Because he got a head kick in August of 2022. You gave him Comeback of the Year. Like, do these people even watch MMA sometimes? When you go through this list, I really, like, it's not my job to hand out the awards, so it's not my job to keep track of things. But just while I was thinking about this video, I was like, who would I pick off the top of my head? The first one that came to me was Rodolfo Bellato winning against Iho Pereira. That was one that I was like talking about on my live stream just a couple of weeks ago. I remember that fight blowing me away because it was nearly stopped and Rodolfo had to claw back to a hard-fought victory, finishing ground and pound in the third. It wasn't just a lucky headshot. And again, fine, these are like, you know, the MMA casual awards, so you need something a little bit more media grabby if that one's not good enough for you. So how about Kamaru Usman versus Khamzat Chimaev? Yeah, like Usman was going into that fight, talked about being completely washed up. No one was betting that Usman could do it on 8 days' notice. Then that first round was just a complete runaway round for Khamzat, and then he had to fight and claw his way back to squeeze out what should have been a draw. That was a really hard-fought comeback. Or pretty much that comeback started all the way in the locker room. and then went all the way to the end of round 1. And then Kamaru Usman stood up and said, no, I am going to win this, and clawed his way back. And it would have been such an amazing way for us, the MMA community, to say, sorry to Usman, you should have gotten a draw. How about we give you this award to make up for it? But instead, you give it to Leon Edwards' lucky head kick out of nowhere that wasn't even in 2023. Next up, Analyst of the Year. This one, it killed me, man. It killed me. Michael Bisping. You gave it to Michael Bisping. Like, why? This guy, there'll be a finish going on, and Bisping will like hit DC on the shoulder and be like, DC, when I was finishing Luke Rocco, like, shut up and call the fights, Bisping. What are you doing? And now you've just added to his ego, you fools. You fools, man. It's like giving Israel Adesanya the Everyone Loves Me award. Like, why? Why feed into their delusion, man? Oh, how about Paul Felder? Okay, when was the last time that we complained about Paul Felder? Apart from that, come on already moment apart from that, he's been completely professional, engaging, definitely worthy of an award. Or how about this one, okay, for the corporate choice? Laura Sanko. She is such a hard-working analyst. Her pay-per-view debut was so impressive, right? Like, she became the first woman to sit at the desk of the UFC pay-per-view, and everyone was like, oh, here we go, a woman, this is gonna be great. And she did a great job. Why not what better time to give a woman Analyst of the Year than the first one to step up and do it on the big show and do a really good job of it? Like, and also, she's not one of those, troublemakers, yeah? She's willing to have fun. She's willing to poke at herself and banter with the boys. Laura Sanko absolutely deserves an award. Or for Analyst of the Year, why can't it be one of us, the trash talkers online, yeah? Dougie, honestly, why can't it be one of us online? We want picks. They are amazing. Those boys are at it every day, giving out detailed fight analysis all week long. They do amazing. Why does it always have to be someone that has a paycheck from ESPN that gets an award? Why can't it be someone in the greater MMA community? We want picks. Amazing analysts. Amazing. All right, next, Ref of the Year, Herb Dean. Give me a goddamn break. The Ref of the Year should be a referee that most people don't even think about. Like, you can't even talk about them. They get in there, they do their job, and they get the hell out. And we don't complain about them for the next week. Like, Herb Dean and Mark Goddard are in the talking points of every podcast every single week. They should be at the bottom of the list. I'm not saying they're not good refs, but they make a lot of mistakes. They're not the best ref of the year. It should be someone that doesn't even come to mind. To me, it took me a while, but it should be Jason Herzog. Like, if that surprises you, then it's probably because we don't talk about him a lot, which is good. That's what a ref should do. They're busy doing their job, not making headlines for stuffing up. Next up, right, I'm redoing the entire awards ceremony, okay? We're calling this the Dougie Awards, yeah? You're getting a trophy of just a gold Dougie, just me, naked, in gold. I'm Dougie, by the way. Okay, moving on, okay, to this is the most despicable, most vomit-inducing award. This one honestly makes me want to start following like cricket or something. The Fighter of the Year, Leon Edwards. Are you joking? Are you joking? Like, look at the fighters of this year. It's either going to be Alex Pereira. He started off as a middleweight champion and finished as the lightweight champion, or Islam Makhachev. He fought the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world twice this year and beat him. And the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world was an Australian. So that's like pretty much unbeatable. And he beat him, not just a GOAT, but an Aussie as well. Like, obviously it should be either Alex Pereira, Islam Makhachev, and if I was giving out the Golden Dougie Award, I'd have to give it to Sean Strickland. I made an entire video about this, search it up. It's called, Is Sean Strickland the MMA Fighter of 2023 or something like that. I might link it down below, who knows. That's it. That's the MMA Awards of 2023. It's an absolute circle jerk of an event. And Leon Edwards is just the wet cookie plopped in the middle of it. Look, let me know, Who was your fighter of the year down in the comments? I love hearing from you guys. Like this one, yeah, from Simon Brusher. This one was on the RIP welterweight division video. He says, oh, why don't you fight and show us how it's done? Why don't you go to Leon's gym and run your mouth, mate? No. I'm a content creator. It's my job to make this video entertaining, not a cage fight. They volunteered to do the cage fight. And obviously, Leon would kick the living piss out of me. Like, no. Or leave a serious comment like this one. I always prefer the serious comments more. This one's from Brett Humphrey on the Nick Diaz versus GSP 2 video. Brett says, I don't mind seeing that fight again. Nick was injured when he fought Robbie, so he couldn't get his weight down properly. Honestly, Brett, I completely forgot about Nick's injury going into that fight. All I can remember about that fight is just how slow and sloppy that fight looked. So to me, I don't think it would be competitive to see Nick Diaz fight GSP again, but I am sure that there is an audience out there. And as a legacy fight on UFC 300, as long as there's plenty of other fights on UFC 300, and if Nick Diaz came to fight, like, all right, maybe he was injured. I'll have to go back and check. I completely forgot about that. But if he comes to fight and GSP comes to fight, then sure, let's have that fight on the card. Why not? There's always an audience for some fight out there. I don't know. To me, it just doesn't feel like it would be competitive. But I appreciate you leaving the comment, Brett. I really do. So thank you. So not every fight is for everyone. That is how it is. Not every channel is for everyone, but if you're still here at this part of the video, that means I've entertained you in some way, given you something to think about from a different perspective. So if you could go ahead, hit that subscribe button down there. It means so much to small creators like myself when we see that number going up. And if like in a week or in a month, you just decide that Dougie's Corner isn't for you, you can always click unsubscribe. That's totally fine. There's no hate here. That's all good. I want to hear your thoughts down in the comments. Who is your fighter of 2023? Do you think Leon Edwards is fair? Please let me know why, because I don't think that's fair at all. I think that is way off. So let me know why. If you do think Leon Edwards is it, let me know why down in the comments. And of course, that's it for now. I will see you all in the next video. Have a great Christmas holiday break. See you in the next one.